afternoon. I am Sivarama Prasad, a visiting faculty at IARE. Today we'll talk about academic success, some of the topics on entrepreneurial mindset and innovation culture. If you see the market, everything is changing. Human needs, which are basic in nature, today they are getting extended into wants. And wants, they are also becoming unlimited, challenging, demanding. Most of the times the choices, demands, everything is changing. And industry is the one which is serving all these with the help of people, resources and technology. But what is happening is with these changes, industry's need has become, it has to get into new ideas, new designs, new processes. And in turn, it is calling for new skills in the people and more and more entrepreneurial, creative things. All these things are making the people to get trained, upgrade the skills so that they can get into the industry to serve for the better future. Generally, if you see current thinking, anybody who is having more analytical skills, what happens is he will just jump into the problem solving mode. And after trying, whether it is solving or not, he will start defending on the answers. It doesn't help anybody. And in the same way, if you jump quickly into the solutions, what happens is you will not be looking at the full picture and you may be missing. Like if you go to a doctor, the minute you tell fever, if he starts giving medicine, it may or may not work. At the same time, if he starts diagnosing too much, that is also difficult. It goes on like the tests and the diagnosis. So you have to balance. That means analytical skills are required. And at the same time, you should not get into the solution immediately. And if you see on the other side, designers, they generally deal with incomplete information or unpredictable things which are very futuristic, and more it is ambiguous because they are designing for the future. So there is an uncertainty. And earlier days, speed and uncertainty was to an extent manageable. Today it is not so. So the designer has to be ready with dealing with ambiguity, and he should be comfortable, and he should be fast, and uncertainty also he should be able to handle it. And that is a missing capability today. So what happens is you have to build that. And when the things are so changing, your ideas, you should get fast ideas, creative ideas, innovation means, and you have to take it forward very fast. It is not that we can do it tomorrow, day after tomorrow, like that. You have to change it. So the changing phase required for today is more and more uncertainties you have to handle, and more changes you have to manage. And more than that, the speed at which the need or the requirement is, you should be able to ready-made give it. In a way, it should be like a magician. Olden days, the business means you'll be given some resources, you'll be given people, and you have to handle it effectively, efficiently. Today, it is changing. So, you have to get skilled, upgraded, trained, and you have to start thinking creatively and do it, learn it by doing, and then get into the people's needs very fast. And you cannot accept whatever it is okay. Today, what is happening that is sufficient. No. The demands are increasing. So you have to change it. You always continuously change it for better. And unless you do this, the economic activity, that means the profit, continuously profit and continuously the resources being converted, and money you are again re-putting it into the system so that it becomes a regenerative, it becomes a self-driven. Otherwise what happens is, if there is no money for doing it, it will die in a slowly. And also you have to keep some resources aside and invest for the future expectations. You see, for example, in 90s or in 80s, when there was no even fax machine to send a message to the other places, ISRO started putting money into satellite launching, rocket launching. So that means they have preserved the resources, the present resources, put it into the future expectation, thinking that by 2000, everybody requires satellite communication, internet, WhatsApp, websites. This thinking they thought about 30 years back, and they have put their resources, efforts into this. Like that, we should be more and more creative and innovative, and all the services, business models, we have to change it, but we have to come into this. So when the need is creativity and innovation, normally people think creativity, innovation, they're all born talents. Actually, every human being is born with all the talents. Only difference is, some cases there'll be super talent that comes out and he will practice it and he'll become a super talent and is great. It becomes, you cannot just justify how he behaves or how he works. But mostly such type of super talents will be very limited. With a very limited resource of talent, industry cannot survive and it cannot sustain also. So what happens is, whoever having normal talent, normal born talents, they have to build it in a specific way and you have to nurture it, practice it, and you can definitely become a competent talent. And the industry is run by the competent people, the competent talents. Super talent is required for making some great breakthroughs, but completely it is run by competent talent. And you build it on that, you create more and more skills, and you sustain it, the growth, and take it forward. See, what happens is, this super talent, a small example is artist. Artist is a super talent. Music is a super talent. But there are so many musicians, so many artists, and some people made the art also into a commercial one. How it is, you could see a big art. It is made by some super talent person, and it is not easy to manage such a super talent also. So what happens? He has converted that into dots. It's converted one man, converted into squares, one man converted into different colors, and replicated it on a graph paper or on a dots through colors. Today, that has become a big business also. An artist makes a drawing and that is converted into dots and it is sold to the people who are non-artists, and they can make that art so nicely. It looks as if it is made by a big artist. Otherwise, it is a normal talented man only. See, like that, the industry and the entrepreneur, he converts that. That is where he becomes. You see, for example, music, art, cricket, everywhere. There are some super talent people, but that doesn't mean entire thing is run by them. Industry needs much more than that. So competency building and different skills building is natural process, and you all can become like that. Suppose that I don't want to learn that. I will live with no creativity, no innovation, nothing new. I will run like this means. It will be something like a You in the morning, same breakfast, same college, same lecture, same back, same TV. Nothing. No, nothing is changing. Daily means it will get bored and it is not a life. If you want to think of a life enjoyable, then you should get out of that repeated pattern, day in and out, like a clockwork. You have to come out of it. Then only there'll be joy, excitement, everything. So for that, you need imagination, creativity, innovation, new thinking, new experiences. All these things is becoming a main circle. So if you see a circle, imagination is the first one, creativity, then it goes into innovation, then it becomes entrepreneurship, then it serves the purpose. Like that, it goes around. So what happened is earlier days of normal things, today they are not serving the purpose. So you have to get into creativity mode, innovation mode, and you have to bring in expertise, you have to bring in creative thinking, you have to bring in self motivation. All these things you have to bring it into the people's skill. When you have to bring all these things, you have to generate new, or you have to upgrade the old. And normally what happens is, it is not that only creation will work. It has to be coupled with critical thinking also. That means it sorts out all the possibilities, practical things it will see, analyze, and then it will bring it to a shape. And that bringing it to a shape, if it is not there, you will just creating opportunities, ideas. It doesn't serve the purpose. So you have to bring it to take convergent mode. That's why always aim at a lot of best things, and from that you select the best out of the best and delete the worst things. Here, imagination, creativity, they are one way, it is only a mental process. Someone has to really give a physical, a materialistic product. That is the innovation. That means idea, whichever is generated, you convert that into a product through some process, through people. So this entrepreneur, what he does is, he mixes the creativity, innovation, and tries to come to a product stage. So if you see, creativity is one, entrepreneur is one. Both are separate. If they are not merging, creativity man, he'll be doing his own job. Entrepreneur, he'll be doing his own job. And they will not even growth. So they both have to match. And at the intersection point comes the innovation. That means a creativity man and an entrepreneur business sense meets, and it gives the real business. That's why both are required for a sustainable business. And when the innovation is taken into action, it cannot just like that make something. You see, in a market, there is people who require that. There is a technology which makes that. And both things, someone has to put the resources so that it makes a business. Suppose any two are matching, any two are intersecting. That doesn't give a real purpose. Sometimes it is possible, but there is no buyer. Sometimes it is usable, but there is no profit. Sometimes it is valuable, but it is not feasible. Any two merging, it doesn't help. So all the three have to get intersected. That point is innovation. That means at that point, any product which you are creating, it gives value to the customer. So market should be there, technology should be there, and business model should be there. All these things put together means it is a creative man, he will be standing on his side. A technology man, he will be standing on his side. And the user on standing on one side. Like coins in a chess. Everybody standing, it doesn't work. The entrepreneur, what he does is, he combines all of them and he creates a model and he make it a commercialized project, and he try to serve the market. and in the process he generates the wealth. For a person to have this entrepreneurship, then he has to build a company. That means an organization is required. Once an organization means there are capabilities, structures, strategies, culture. So all these things mixed, he has to build it. And generally, if you see, one circle is everything you should have. We are not like big cinema heroes where every quality is there with us. So you have to bring in one more circle. When the both circles are not merged, not joining, then you will not get common. So both separately also not required, not useful to the society. So 2, then 3, then 4. So more or less 3 to 4 real things, if you merge it, you will get one intersection where that innovation, entrepreneurship, creativity, everything is going to be giving a jackpot. How an innovation works with a person means, first you have to find what you really love to do it. Then you have to learn that. You become an expert in that. And you will automatically become passionate. And then once you are passionate, you don't need a drive or follow or monitoring. It self-generates. Then you should see opportunities, what are all there. Every skill will have their opportunities. It may be abundant, or it may be specialized, or it may be premium, or it may be need-based, differently. But everybody will have an opportunity. Then you have to identify the problems, and then from the problems, what opportunities you will do it. Then goals. While doing it or while designing it, there should be some novelty in that. That means it should be something new, something unique, or something satisfying someone's desire, like a fashion. There is no reason why you are putting a dress like that. It is just a desire, and you are just satisfying that desire. Once all these things, then go for doing it. Don't think of failure. There will be 1 or 2 failures, but you have to manage that or handle it. Otherwise, thinking a failure, you will not be doing anything. Then you cannot move forward also. And these are mindsets you have to create. See, as a designer, you will be having a mindset of problem solving or a creator. As a scientist, you always will be exploring. As a doctor or nurse, you will always be caring. Suppose if you are in a public service like police, military, you will always be thinking of protection, guarding. A firefighter means as public servant. So like these, people will have a different mindset. You have to see that and get into the correct mode. And how this is getting useful to the general public. Suppose you have a solution and there is no problem at all. At the time, if you want to sell that solution, nobody will buy it or nobody will be interested. Like you can see, and many times when you're stopped at the signals, a lot of people will be coming with a lot of products. You don't have a need and you don't have a problem. So you will not even buy that. You will not even care for that. Same way, suppose before this corona period, if anybody is giving Dolo or Strepsils, nobody would have even touched it. But today, when the problem is there, people are taking it. Otherwise, nobody will touch it. Same way, many of the opportunities, they will not come to you. You have to seek and you have to develop for it, and you should always will be searching, striving to find out how you find a problem or an opportunity. If you see the people, they are very enjoyable, and there is some discomfort you have created, or something has created it, or they are very efficient. Something happened and you have become less efficient. And there was a lot of simple things, but because of some reason, it has become complicated. Such areas are the real problem areas. That is, there is a chance and there is a potential and there is an opportunity. That opportunity, if you touch, there is a potential it can make money. And if you have only ideas, it is just an opportunity. It doesn't help anything. I have a lot of ideas, but what is the use? I cannot make anything out of it. I cannot serve the purpose. I cannot serve the need. I cannot make the money. So, any opportunity, any idea, it should add value and it should remove pain or it should solve the problem. And customers should feel happy about it. Only then he'll be ready to pay or he will voluntarily pay. Only at that stage, entrepreneur will come back. Because if there is no good, nobody will come. So, if anybody has to pay for it, you have to look what is the pain point or what is his problem. Then only you will get an opportunity. And that opportunity, if you touch, you will get commercially viable things. And that is what entrepreneur will be very interested. So, if you see the entrepreneur, what he'll be thinking is, he'll be looking for some imaginative person. He'll be looking for some creative person. Then he himself will have some creativity so that he can make things in a new way or new methods. Then that creativity, invention, he'll convert into innovation. Then from innovation, he will make it into a physical product. So all these things, they're interconnected. It will start from one to next, like that it goes. In these, employees, they'll be very focused on work, performance, realizing the product, and their career growth. Whereas one step ahead, if you take it, entrepreneurs, what they will be thinking, they all will have the skills and they will have a marketing skill, business model generation, and financial, so that they want to serve the customer and in the process sustain economic growth. So, he will engage the employees or inventors or designers and he will realize the product. He will give the happy, satisfied employment for the people and he takes the outcome and take him to the customer and he'll create a economy. And that is how the government or country or the world or the people, it runs. Otherwise, if entrepreneur is not there, he cannot run. It goes and becomes a standstill. The world, it will stop. So entrepreneur is very important. And to support him, a creative person and an analytical person and an innovative person, they are all very important. This is how it works. The creativity and innovation, they are the starting points for the entrepreneur. And for innovation to come, creative idea should be there, and creative idea, invention, when it comes into the process, then only it gets into innovation. That's why you should get an idea, you should imagine, you should convert it, then it gets into entrepreneur and then it goes into the product. That's why for making the product, we may be somewhere at the end or at the beginning or at the middle. But if a person attains all the skills, then he will have a long sustained life. How it comes? There is an opportunity. That means a problem or gap or some environment, some need you have found. From that opportunity, you are creating an idea, a new way of doing it. From that idea, you are creating a process, an invention, how to do it. Then from that, you are commercializing. So in the process, the creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship, these three work together. And even when creativity and innovation are separate, the entrepreneur will try to combine them and create a commercial value to the market. And there will be a lot of things like divergent ideas, convergent ideas, and problem-oriented, solution-oriented. These are some of the skills and some of the practices you have to generate so that when you are working, it will be very easy. How the thing generally goes. Customer needs or wants, first you identify. That goes into opportunity. From there comes imagination. That means you are imagining the product, opportunity, or imagining the problem. Then a creative mind will try to give an idea for that, how to solve it, how to make use of the opportunity. Then the innovation idea or the skill, it converts that idea into a practical solution or a process and an action. And at that stage, all three, if they are there, it is of no use unless an entrepreneur comes in and combines them and takes it into a idea to a product, and that product, it should be valuable to the customer, and you should be able to generate the work to the employee, and there should be some returns to the man who is making it. Otherwise, if returns are not there, it will not be self-generative. Every day you take 1 rupee and you return it only 50 paisa. Next day, 50 paisa you invest, 25 paisa will come. And by fourth day or fifth day, it becomes zero. Or it becomes unviable. Whereas, every day you take 1 rupee and it is doubled it, 2 rupees. Next day you take 2 rupees, it is becoming 4 rupees. That creates the wealth and it generates the wealth. And how these skills and thinking, how it works is, you see, first, for starting, you need a divergent area. That means without any restrictions, you should be thinking. And at the time of finish, whatever ideas you have, you should converse that and come to a one single conclusion. Same way, opportunity, choices, decisions, ideas, all these things. On one side, it will be creating divergently, and the other side, you have to converge it. That means if you have too many ideas or too many opportunities, too many ways, you cannot bring it to a shape. So you have to bring it to shape. That is why both qualities are required. To start with, you should be openly getting a lot of ideas. Then after getting all those ideas, you would select it, analyze it, bring it them to a shape, and then come to a conclusion. Then finally you make it into a final design and a product. That's why employees, entrepreneurs, all, they should have all these qualities. Only at the time, some will be taking the dominant role, some will be taking passive role, and the other times, other person, other role will be taking it. That's why problem stage, you'll be discovering, then defining it to a single, identifying a problem. Then at the solution stage, again you'll be developing. Then for the time of delivering, you'll come down and narrow it down. This is how every time you should be divergent and convergent. And if you want to see how the thing is working, you think for a while a waterfall. A waterfall is just, it erupts from the hills and it falls into the ground. It is very creative, very divergent. Then people will store it into some place. Then from that store, you will put a dam, and from the dam, you will release it to canals. And from that canals, whatever water is flowing, it goes to sea. And from the dam to the sea, that is the water which is useful to the society. It is not the waterfall at the beginning, or it is not water at the storage. It is the water which is released. That is how you see a creative man, analytical man, and then entrepreneur who is really converting the product and bringing it to the market after the dam. That is how the things goes. If you see entrepreneur here, when you have an idea, just feasible, and when you have an idea which is desirable, when you have an idea, it is becoming into opportunity, feasible, desirable, viable. That's how just an idea, an employee who can make the idea work as an innovator, and the man who can really convert it into product and then gives it to the customer, makes it a business. You see, This is the major relation between the three circles like desirability, viability, feasibility. Same way, the entrepreneur is the man who is converting all these things into the final product. And he is the man who is creating the industry also. There are some guidelines. Like you will get an idea, then you will assess the idea. It is a standard step-by-step process. Once you got an idea, then you have to work on this analysis, then get into which is the most promising or most appropriate. Then you have to think of arranging resources. Then you have to think of what is the size, decide the location, then bring in finance, then create an enterprise, bring people to manage the company, and then you reap the benefits. This is how the final outcome comes. But in between, the starting point is the creation, creativity, innovation. Unless these are not there, unless these are there, you cannot make it. Without that also you can build a company. You can make the company. You will generate, suppose we made one car, started supplying. There is a huge market. It is giving. But as the people are changing, generations changing their needs, the people think they want a new car. At the time, what you will do? Because you don't have a creative man, you don't have an innovative man, you don't have an innovative process. You are doing same thing, same old car, day in and day out. It doesn't work. Earlier, it was having life, at least for 5 years. Nowadays, it is not so. 1 year, 2 years, everybody is changing. Everything they are changing. You see, the cells and mobiles, they are the beautiful examples. Every 3 months, every quarter, it changes. If they are not coming out with, they will not find a place in the market. All this is okay. But what about as a person? As a person, you will like to do something which you love. And it is not that whatever you love, you may be good. May be good or may not be good. So there are some areas where you will be good. But when you go to the market, whether they need this or not, we don't know. You will be paid for something else, or you will be paid for the same thing. And out of the fourth one is whether the world needs it or not. Unless these four merge at one point, what you love to do it, what you are good at, what you are paid for, and what is the need, that means world needs. That is the area. If you are there, you will be enjoying the life, you will be passionate to do the things, and you will be useful to the society. Everything is good. It may happen, it may not happen. That's why you have to find where you are doing, you are passionately doing, or just a profession doing, or once in a while you are doing, or it is your mission to do. For example, take, I am interested in music, but I am not good at music, but I like music or I want to sing, but I am good at as an engineer. But there is no job in the market. There is a job for real estate. So what I will do? Because I have to get paid, I will go and sit in a real estate thing. But what world needs? World needs a restaurant. So when I am doing that type of job, I will not get creativeness, I will not get innovativeness, or I have to find something by hard work, doing something else. So you have to be creative, innovative means you have to find where you are and try to get fit into that, and there you develop your skills and enjoy it. Then only you will be useful and you will have a sustained life. So every part of life, these are required. It is not today I will do for only for the product or the job. No, it is every day required. You see, in our friendship, when you attend the functions, when you go home, everywhere these things, they work. Finally, if you are satisfied, you are sacrificing, or you are selfish, the mix of these is going to create the society. If you are very satisfied, there will be a very good, everybody is satisfied. So society will be in a very satisfied condition. Suppose you are sacrificing for new things, then everybody is sacrificing. Then the future people will enjoy it. And you are enjoying by sacrificing. Suppose you are selfish. Everybody is selfish. Everybody their own they are looking at. They will be happy for some time and they cannot sustain for long period because everybody is selfish. So it gets multiplied and summed up and finally society, it will degrade into a different thing. So ultimately what we expect is, it is not a consumer society, but you should conserve the society and create good for the next generations also. And you have to use all our skills in that fashion. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.